Ba, 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 ba. Lovely. Okay, okay. So, can you see me okay with this in the background? I think actually it's a bit bright. But I'm going to try and keep the light in. So, I might just shuffle you round so that it's maybe slightly more at an angle. Can you see me better now? Is that okay? Reshuffle. Okay, cool. Hopefully that's okay. And you can see me all right. Lovely. And then we can still have a bit of natural light coming in. Okay, so we're going to start, although this might be in my way. We'll see how we get on. All right, we're going to start with 4 big deep breaths. Number 1, lifting it all the way up. Breathing it in through your nose and then exhaling out. Number 2, lifting it up. And relax. Number 3. And taking it all out. And last one, biggest one yet. And relax it down. Standing it up. Pull the shoulders back, opening up the chest, and just gently taking yourself from one side to the other. Lovely. Hold yourself to one side, circle around the ankle, and change direction. Fabulous. Switch over to the other side, circle around the ankle, and change direction. Lovely. Leg 1, lifting it up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it to the side for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it to the back. Squeeze your butt for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lovely. Switching over to the other leg. Lifting it up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it out to the side for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then kicking it out the back for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lovely. Nice soft knees. Rolling around the shoulders. Nice and gently. Good. Take it a little bit bigger, leading with the elbows. Backwards swinging. Fabulous. And then just the shoulders rolling forwards. Nice. Good. Forward swimming, taking it a bit bigger. Just enjoying that motion in the shoulders. Lovely. And then reach your arms up nice and high. Take one arm forward, one arm back. Nice. Really good. Change direction, other one back, other one forwards. Lovely, jubbly. And then give it a good shake out. And nice knees. You're going to wrap yourself around, feeling a twist in the back, floppy arms, floppy fingers. Oh, this feels really nice, actually. Lovely. And then take yourself back to the front. Everything from hips down is going to stay still, just twisting the upper body from one side to the other, keeping your hips square to the front. Lovely. And then everything from shoulders down, stay still. Just moving the head from left to right. Good. And then from sky to floor. Up and down. Lovely. And then ear to shoulder. And taking it up and over to the other side. And up and over. And up. Lovely. And then from here, taking your ear to your shoulder, gently rolling it round to the other shoulder. And then easing it back again. And just taking it over. And easing it back again. If you wish to, you can take your head all the way round. Or just leave it at the front semicircle, whichever feels right and best for you today. And don't forget to change direction if you did take it all the way round. Lovely, good. And then taking your head back up on top of the shoulders. From here, pulling the shoulders up to the ears, lifting them up, and then pushing them down. Lovely, lift it up, push it down. Lift it up, push it down, lift it up, push it down, double time. Up, 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 up. Lovely. Palms up to the sky, opening it out, squeeze the shoulder blades together at the back, nice and gently, opening up the chest. And then round, separating the shoulder blades, closing it up. And open. And round. And open. And round. and open. Lovely. This time when we round, interlink the fingers. Feel like you're holding your arms still bent, so they're kind of like holding like a beach ball kind of shape. And then gently pull on the arms to separate the shoulder blades and just look down to the floor. Lovely. From here, let go of the hands. Take your fingers, interlink the fingers at the back. Pull your shoulders down, open up the chest, and then lift the arms up. Lovely. And then fold yourself forward, taking them hands all the way up over the top of your head. Lovely. Good. Let go of the hands, bend the knees, rolling it all the way back up. Excellent. From here, taking the hips from side to side. Good. Circling around the wrists, taking it all the way up to the top and down the middle. When you get to the bottom, change direction of the wrists, taking it back up and down the middle. Lovely. And then interlink the fingers, snaky, snaky. Good. Change direction. Very nice. And then give it a little shake. Fold yourself forward. Keep your feet nice and wide. Hands come down, and then keep them hips side to side. Lovely. Taking it all the way back up. Bending the knees, pelvis tucks under, squeeze the tush, and then taking it back. And then under and squeeze, and taking it back. Under and squeeze, and circling it all the way around. Lovely. From here, I want you to try and keep your upper body still, just rotating your hips round. So just the hips moving, upper body stays still. And change direction. Good. Nice. Nice and controlled. Just focusing on the hips. Fabulous. And then let's switch over. So hands on hips. I find the more bent knees I have, the easier this is. And we're just going to rotate the upper body round. So rotating your rib cage round in a circle and change direction. Trying to keep your hips as still as possible. Just focusing on the rotation of the rib cage. Nice. Good. Fold yourself forward. Hands come down. Feet nice and wide. And we're going to bend one leg. Easing the stretch on the inner thigh. And then taking it up and over to the other side. Up and over. Up and over. Lovely. Really nice. And then from here, taking it through the middle. In a little crabby kind of position. If you wish to, you can get your hands off. Keep that chest lifted and your hips nice and low. Or if you prefer, keep your hands on the floor, whichever suits you and your body best today. Fold yourself to one side. We're going to flex up that foot. And I'm going to do a little bit of ankle work. So we're going to flex it up. Then take it to demi-point. So my ankle is stretched down, but my toes are pointed up. And then I'm going to take it into a full point where my toes go back down. Then take it through demi, and then back to flex. Good, so that was one. And demi, full, demi, flex, two. Demi, full, demi, flex, that's three. Good, folding yourself round so you're landing in your lunge position. And just gently taking them hips up and down, just to open up the hips. Warm them up a little bit more. Lovely. Push through that front leg, take yourself into your standing lunge. Find the balance. Pelvis tucks under as best as you can. Reach the hands up and then push down into the hips. Good, really nice. Reach all the way forward. Chest is on your front leg. Hands frame that front foot. And we're going to drop the back knee down and untuck them toe at the back. Shuffle your front foot forward, maybe about 10 centimeters, just to make it slightly easier. And then from here, we're going to straighten that front leg and then rebend. And straighten, rebend. Lovely. The three. 4, 5, 6. Last 2, 7. Last 1, 8. Lovely. And then from here, lift yourself upright. Straightening out your front leg, flex up your front foot, take a big deep breath in. Exhale, fold it forward. Lovely. Squeezing the quad, making sure you've got a super straight leg, as straight as you can. Really nice. And just feeling any tension in the back of the leg just melting away as you hold this breath for longer. As you're breathing in, exhale. You should feel it just melting away. Any tension that you might have there. Taking it back up. Another big deep breath in. Exhale, fold it forward. Lovely. And then we again squeezing the quad, make sure you've got a super straight leg. If you wish to, you can make this more intense. Push your ankle into the floor, pushing it down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Lovely. Plant that foot down, and then you're going to transition your way through your hips down into your low lunge. Just sitting in the hips for a little moment. Lovely. Good. Hands come either side of your front foot, and we're going to circle our hips round for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Change direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lovely. 2 hands come to the inside of that front foot. Tuck your toe under at the back. Push your hip up. Open yourself out to the front. Reach yourself over to the other side and flex up that foot. We're just going to do that little bit of ankle work again. So from here, we've got a flex foot, then take it to demi, and then take it to full. Take it back through demi and to flex. Good, that's 1. Taking it down. Demi, full, demi, flex. 2, last 1, demi, full, demi, flex. Lovely. Roll yourself around. Just to hold it up a little bit more. Fabulous. Take yourself into standing lunge. Find your balance. Reach the hands up, pelvis tucks under, and push down in between. Pushing down into the hips. Lovely. Reach all the way forward. Chest is on that foot. Lower the back knee down. Shuffle your front foot forward. And then we're just going to straighten and rebend. Lovely. Straighten, rebend. Lovely. 3, and 4, and 5. And now it's evening actually. Still blue sky. Last one. And take yourself upright. Straighten out that front leg, flexing up your front foot. Big deep breath in. Exhale, fall forward. Lovely. And you should feel a stretch all down the back of this front leg. Lovely. Squeeze your quad, making sure you're getting it a super straight leg. Excellent. And then taking it up one more time. Big deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Really nice. And then again, making sure we've got a super straight leg. Flex, squeezing your quad. Feel the tension releasing in the back of this leg. And if you wish, you can push your ankle into the floor. So you're pushing it down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then relax. Lovely. Plant that foot down. Transition your way through into your hips, pushing down into your low lunge. And just holding it here for a moment. Feeling any tension you might be getting in your hip flexor here. Lovely. 2 hands come either side of your front foot. And then from here, we're going to shuffle our hips around. Up 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Change direction. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lovely. 2 hands come to the inside of your front foot. Bend your back knee and bring your weight into your back knee, and then circle your other leg to join it so you're landing on all 4. From here, just have a little reshuffle. Make sure that your wrists are underneath your shoulders and that your knees are underneath your hips. And then from here, we're going to tuck the pelvis under, round the back, separate the shoulder blades and look down between the legs, rolling it over. Fabulous. And then folding yourself all the way back. Using the shoulder blades together. And tucking it back under. Really nice. Squeezing the pelvic floors. Tummy button pulling up into the spine. And opening it out. Pushing your butt over your ankles and then taking your legs straight. So you're landing in downward dog. I want you to bend one knee at a time, just walking through the ankle. Stretching at the back of the leg. And then from here, I want you to push your shoulders down, so keeping your legs still. You can have soft knees to make it slightly less intense. Bring your armpits like they're trying to touch your toes. Lovely, good. Really nice. And then walking your toes in towards your hands and take yourself up to standing. Good. Feeling nice and warm? Grab yourself a little drink if you've got one nearby. And also to tie my hair up because it's not really nice. Okay, cool. So, when we do a handstand, a lot of our the control that we want from our handstand all comes from our abs and our core muscles. So I want us to just do a lot of work on getting nice strong core. So to begin with, I want you to prop yourself up onto, so line yourself down and prop yourself up onto your elbows and then lift your legs up into the sky. Lovely. And from here, we're going to do our little scissor legs. So taking them from side to side, and then we're taking them down. I want you to try and think about keeping your legs as straight as possible, and then taking it as low as you can, and then taking it back up. Good, nice. Taking it back down. Again, keeping it as straight as you can. Really squeeze your quads to get super straight legs. And then one more, taking it down. And then taking it back up. Excellent. Good. Really nice. I'm going to roll ourselves over and we're going to do some plank holds. So to begin with, I want us to just hold our plank for 20 seconds. We're going to have a little break. We're going to do it again for the 20 seconds. Then we'll have a little break. And then we're going to hold it again for the final 20 seconds. So 3 in total. Now, when you're in your plank position, I want to make sure that your wrists are directly underneath your shoulders and that your shoulders aren't next to your ears. So you're pulling your shoulders back, kind of like lifting yourself up and out, and you can kind of push into the ground to, yeah, just kind of like pull your shoulders back and down. And then when you step your legs out, I want them to be in line with your hips, and then for your butt to stay nice and straight. So you're not sagging it down and you're not lifting it up either. So I'm in like a straight line from the top of my head all the way to my ankles. Now, when we hold this position, be really careful that you don't start looking down at your feet. I want you to keep your neck in line with your back. So your aim is to have a really straight back and for your shoulders to be pulled down. Okay, so we're going to hold it for 20 seconds. I'm actually going to time this because sometimes I can't too fast or too slow. Oh, I've just got a message from Patricia. Hi, Becky, I'm booked into the session. I want to join, but my club live finishes at 7. I will be a bit late. Can I still join? Okay, I'll message you later. Okay, so 20 seconds. Ba, 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 ba. Are we ready? On your marks, get set, go. So keeping your head in line, shoulders pulling back and down, squeezing your butt in. Not too bad, you're doing really good. Keep breathing, 10 seconds to go. Good, really nice. Fabulous, tummy nice and tight. Last 2, 1, and relax. Good. Was that okay? Did you feel all right doing that, or was it quite challenging? If you start to feel shaky, that's completely normal. That's your abs going a bit tense and like, what? That's totally fine. Good. Okay, you're looking strong, guys. You're welcome to have a little bit of a stretch if you wish to here. I'm just going to pull my arm over. Nice long neck, pulling it in just to feel a bit of the stretch in my shoulders, and then pull down the other one. And then I'm ready to go for my next 20. Let's do this. Okay, so getting yourself into your position. So again, hands come directly underneath your shoulders, shoulders pulling back and down, legs in line, feet are in line with your hips. On your marks, get set, let's go. Nice tight tummy, nice tight butt cheeks. Don't looking down, no looking up, keeping that neck neutral with the spine. 10 seconds already done. Really nice, pushing it away, keeping that tummy nice and tight. Last 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good, really nice. Have a little roll of the shoulders, feel a bit of movement. Oh, got a really itchy nose. My goodness me. Okay, cool. And we're going to go for our last 20 seconds. Is everyone's wrists okay? I know sometimes this can be quite intense on wrists. If you do find troubles with your wrists, you are welcome to take it into an elbow plank, Or I actually recommend bringing your hands into fists and making sure that your wrists are staying straight, because then it's not going to take it into an extension of the wrist. It keeps it kind of straight. So there's that option for you as well. For our final 20 seconds, getting into your position. So hands underneath the shoulders and let's go. Nice tight tummy, neck is in line, keeping your butt nice and tight, keeping your tummy nice and tight. Keep breathing, breathing through it. 10 seconds left. Good. Really nice, really good. Last 5. And relax. Really nice. Excellent. Did that feel okay? Feel all right? I can see thumbs up, which is good. Oh, big thumbs up. Excellent. Really good. Glad to hear it. Okay, so up a notch a little bit now. So instead of holding just the plank position, we're going to take it down into our elbows and then back up. So we're going to be holding this, but I'm going to take it slightly more intense. I'll show you what we're doing first, and then I will show you the timings. So I start in my plank position, and then I'm going to take it down into my elbows, take them both into my elbows, and then pushing it back up with both. For the entire time, I want you to keep the rest of your body as tight as possible. So it's really common to feel like you're a little bit more wobbly, but keep your tummy nice and tight to help keep your movements as small and as controlled as you possibly can. As you go down, down, up, up, switch over each side, so you don't have one hand that's dominantly pushing you back up, otherwise it will start to distort and it'll be more pressure on one side than the other. So keep switching it over. We're going to hold this. We're going to do this for 60 seconds. So the entire time that we've just done of our breakup one, all in one, taking it up, up, down, down. So let me set the timer for 1 minute. Does that all make sense? All okay? Yeah? Okay, great. So let's go. Get into your plank position and let's start the cut. And we're going down, down, up, up, down, down, up, up. Don't forget to change which arm you go down with first and which one you go up with first. Keeping your tummy nice and tight. Lovely. Keeping your neck in line with your shoulders, in line with your back. Good. Fantastic work. Keeping the tummy nice and tight. Keeping the movements as small as possible. We're over halfway. Take it as slow as you wish to. Keep breathing. Good work, guys. Last 10 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! My goodness. Doing that, I start getting sweaty on my forehead. Really good there, guys. Really good. Take a little moment. Have a little movement. Have a little stretch. Whatever feels like your body needs. Catch your breath if you're out of breath like me. Maybe it's because I was talking at the same time. Okay, great. So that exercise is not only really good for our core and keeping our balance, but also for our shoulders. Good. How are your wrists? Are they feeling okay? Yeah, good. Excellent. Okay. We're going to do our final plank position or movement in that plank position, where we're going to be dropping our hips from one side up and over to the other side. So I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so I'm in my plank position, same as I have been doing, and I'm going to drop my hips to one side, and then I'm going to take them all the way up and over to the other side, and all the way up and over, back down, up, down. So imagine you've got, I don't know, a birthday cake underneath your tummy, and you're going, your hips are going all the way up and over so that the candles don't burn your tummy. That's what I like to think about. Birthday cake. Okay, so we're not going to, I'm going to do this for 20 lifts up and over. So It doesn't matter how long we take, we're just going to do it for 20. So keeping your tummy tight, it's really difficult to keep your tummy tight even when we're rocking from side to side. So you might feel like one side of your tummy is working harder when it goes over. That's really normal. And obviously you'll be still feeling it quite intensely in your shoulders. But this is the last plank one, I promise. And then we'll move on. Okay, so are we ready? Getting into that plank position. Hopefully you can see nice and clearly from where I am here. So I'm in this plank position. Imagine you've got your birthday cake underneath you. Shoulders are directly above your wrists. And we're going to drop our hips on one side. One up and over. Good. That's one. Taking it up and over. Two. Up and over. Three. Up and over. Four. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9, 10, good. 10, 9, keep breathing. 8, 7, tummy nice and tight. 6, 5, 4, 3, up and over. 2, last one, and relax. Good. So hopefully you can start to feel that more in like the different parts of our tummy. That was really, really, really good. Okay, great. I can't get rid of the stitchy nose. Fabulous. Really good strengthening for your shoulders and for all of our tummy. So the next move that I want to do before we actually get onto handstands and actually trying some handstands is I want us to have a little practice of holding the shape that we need to be in when we are in our handstand. So this is a dish shape. So this is where my pelvis is tucked under. I've got a really tight tummy. My hands are above my head, but they're actually pulling up to my ears. So I'm kind of with my hands are on the ground, I'm pushing my hands into the ground, so I'm extending my shoulders, so I'm really pushing them away, and then my butt is squeezing super tight, and my toes, my legs are super straight, and my toes are pointed. So in a handstand, every single muscle is feeling super tight. We're not ever actually perfectly straight, but we're in like a slightly kind of like curved position. So we're going to hold it in our dish hold. So that's the position that we'll be in, but on the floor. So I'll show you what that bit looks like. So we're going to prep to get into it first. Actually, I'll swing around this way, more room for my legs. So you want to lie yourself down to begin with. Make sure that your feet are on the floor with your knees up to the sky. And the first thing I want you to do is notice that you've got a little bit of gap between your back and the floor. And so to get rid of that gap, I want you to tilt your pelvis under. Ooh, this is uncomfortable when you've got a little tie at the back. So tilt your pelvis under so that you're pushing the small of your back against the floor so that you can't get no air between your back and the floor space. So pelvis is tucked under. Whilst your pelvis is tucked under, you'll be activating a muscle which is right on the top, just above your pubic bone. And you should feel that that's starting to feel flat and more tense. So give it a little poke, make sure it's nice and tense. And then you can tense the rest of your tummy as well, but this one's the real key one. From here, I want you to lift your shoulders and head up off the floor. And again, just checking that there's no air between your gap, between the floor and your lower back. You can bring your hands out to the side to begin with, or for a slightly gentler option, you can take them onto your chest, whichever you prefer. But I'll take mine down next to my fingers pointing towards my toes. And then from here, I want you to lift your feet off the floor and start to already feel how much more intense this is on your tummy, keeping that small of your back pushing into the ground. And then we're going to lift our feet so that they're parallel with the floor. And then from here, if you can, I want you to take your knees further away from you and take it all the way to straight legs. Squeeze your butt cheeks, squeezing your toes together, keeping that small of the back pushing into the floor. And holding it here, keep holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, keep holding, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Phew, blimey, I really felt that in my tummy. Roll yourself over, let's have a little bit of a stretch. So just taking your hands underneath and lifting it up, really opening up the chest, and you should feel the stretch all down the tummy. Just stretching out all your tummy hair. Lovely, opening, pull your shoulders down, looking up will really help. Good. I can't get over this itchy nose, goodness me. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing again. Take it to, I'm going to show you the next level to make it slightly harder. I couldn't do it because I had the sofa in my way. So we're basically to end in the final position, you take your hands above your head, so reaching them up and away. But where I want you to focus on is at any point, if your back comes off the floor and you start to have a gap between the floor and your back, then take it to a slightly gentler level, because what's most important is that your back remains pushing into the floor. The moment that that has changed means we're taking things off kilter and we're actually going to be using muscles that don't need to be used, like your lower back, basically. So we don't want to be using our lower back in this position. We want to be using our abs, our butt cheeks, and pulling them shoulders down. So really like holding it as tight as you can and really feel it in your tummy. But again, the moment that you come up off the floor, that's the moment you need to ease it off and go back to a level where your back can be pushing into the floor. Okay. Oh, I can't. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm just going to blow my nose because I keep like itching it. It's driving me mad. I'll be tooting. Okay. That's better. I just felt like I was itching it the entire time. It was driving me mad. Okay, so we're going to hold it in our dish position. We're going to hold it for 10 seconds and just holding it at the most advanced that you can. If you can get arms up, amazing. If you can get your feet off the floor, amazing. Doesn't matter where you are. It's just making sure that you're recognizing what stage you are at and what is the right thing for you to do to get the most out of the exercise, the movement, and by keeping your back touching the floor and pushing into the floor. So we're going to hold it for a little combat roll. We're going to hold it for 10, let's do 12 seconds. I'm going to up it to 12 seconds because I think we can do it. Okay, so starting with getting into the position. So I'm lying on my floor, pelvis is tucked under, pushing the small of my back into the floor. Lifting my head and shoulders off the floor, bring my arms down, across for the gentler option, or above my head, lift off my toes. Feet come up so they're parallel, and then straighten up my knees, holding it in your end position for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep squeezing. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. Really nice. So that's a really good position to hold your handstands in. So to do our handstands next, I want you to try and find a little bit. Have you guys got a bit of wall space that you can like use next to the wall? You have, Shalali. Are you okay to find wall space, Magdalena? Yeah, she's having a little reshuffle. Excellent, fabulous. So I want us to start by kicking up against the wall. So I'm going to move you round. Oh, I'm not going to. Okay, so that you can see what I'm up to, a close-up of my tum-tum. Hopefully you can see me there. So this is my little bit of wall space I'm doing. Have I cut my head off? Oh, perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be facing the wall to do this exercise. I'm going to take my hands down and they're going to be about a foot away. So I'm talking about maybe 30 centimetres away from the wall. That's where I'm going to put my hands down. My hands are going to be shoulder width apart. And I like to have my fingers, you want to have your fingers as widely spread as possible and then push your fingers into the floor. So I'm actually in kind of like, I've kind of got slightly bent fingers so that I can push with my fingers into the floor. And then I also push with this part of my palm into the floor as well. There are a lot of handstand experts and gurus who really recommend having your forefinger facing directly forward. Personally, this hasn't suited me and my wrist alignment, but it works for a lot of people. So feel free to have a play with that and see if that works well for you, because if it does, fabulous. I found it didn't make any difference for me, but it definitely works for some people, so we might as well share that knowledge and hope that it will work for other people. So your hands coming down, shoulder width apart and about a foot away from the wall. And then I've got a slight bend in my fingers where I'm keeping my fingers slightly bent so I can push into the floor. From here, I'm going to take my butt up, and then what I want you to do is push with one foot and then kick it up and then switch it over to the other side. Kick it up, switch it over, kick it up, switch it over, kick it up, switch it over. You don't need to hold it at the top. I want you to be doing kicks up and down and alternating your legs. So don't think it's just one leg and then come down and use the same leg again. I want you to be switching legs as you go. So just kicking it up, down, up, down. Let's do this for 5 kicks on each leg, so 10 in total. Does anybody have any questions? No? Okay, let's go. So hands come down, shoulder width apart, about a foot away from the wall. Slightly bent fingers, pushing it in, and then lifting my butt up. And we're going to lift up one leg at a time, kicking it up and down. That's 1. Change it over 2. Change it over 3. Change it over 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Lovely. Really nice. Good. Really, really good. So the next thing that I want us to do is to kick up and actually find the wall and lean our feet against the wall. Now with a handstand, because obviously our feet don't have heels like look, when we stand on our feet, we've got bigger heels, so that if we push more into our toes and then we can push our heel will help stop us from falling backwards. Well, with our hands, we don't have a heel as much. So we control our balance just with our fingers. So if you flatten your hands out slightly, you'll be leaning more into it. And then if you push your fingers into the floor, it will help bring it back. So bringing your feet back away from the wall. So I want you to, when you're up there, so we're going to kick up, and I want you to try and push and relax, push and relax, push and relax with your fingers so that you can start to feel how much you can control it with your hands. The only way this will work is if every muscle in your body is super tight. So have a nice tight tummy, really squeeze your butt cheeks together like you've never squeezed your butt before, like proper squeezing it in, your hips are pushing forward, and I want you to think about your toes pushing together, legs are straight, everything has to be as straight and as tight as possible. Almost think of it as if you were trying to balance a straight stick on your hand, and if it was perfectly straight, it'd be way easier to balance. But if you move your hips, and it's almost like trying to balance 2 sticks on top of one another, way harder. So really think about everything being super straight and holding it like you would in your dish position like we've just done. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I mean. So I'm just going to kick up and then try and balance. And if I fall back and if I fall down, that's absolutely fine. Just having a couple of little goes. But I'm going to have a little demo now, and then I'll have a little watch to see how you're getting on. I bring my hands down underneath my shoulders, and then I'm pushing myself up. And I was going to say, and then I find the wall. So I want to push so I can find the wall. Push away with my hands. So instead of bringing my shoulders down, I'm bringing my shoulders next to my ears. And then I want to push into my hands, into my fingers, and see if I can find a balancing point. You might not, don't worry if you don't. It can take a long time to find that balancing point, but it's just starting to feel what it's like to be upside down, what it's like to have the weight in your hands, and then to have that wall there to support you, or to pull away from the wall and see how that feels without. But just have a little practice to begin with and see how you get on. I'm going to have a little watch in the meantime. Nice, Shalali. Pushing through your shoulders. Good. Nice. Yes, Magdalena, really nice. Push through that shoulders, nice lock position. Pelvis slightly under. Good. Nice, Shalali. Very impressive. Shalali, see if you can just take one leg off. See if you can start balancing with one leg in front of you. Yeah, good. Really nice. That's looking really good, Shalali. I'm going to unmute you because I can't work out what you're saying. Magdalena, that's looking really good. I'm going to pop you on gallery view so everyone can see as well. Oh, look at you go. Excellent. Sorry. Yes, Shalali, what were you saying?
Because there's so much weight in my hands, I'm finding it hard to like push away because I'm sort of stuck here. But
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, to begin with, just being upside down and just feeling the weight in your hands, I think is a really nice first step. But as you do this more and more, you'll start to feel aware of when you're trying to balance, you'll want to push in with your fingers more so you don't go too far back, basically. So maybe don't need to worry about it in too much detail. It's more just being observant of it, I guess. So I think that's really good. Magdalena, that looked really, really good. When you first started, your back was slightly tilted out. So your pelvis looked slightly out. Be really conscious to bring that pelvis under so that it helps keep your frame better. But that was looking good and you held that for a really good amount of time. How did it feel?
A bit strange, but I could feel that my belly is not in a right position, but I didn't know what to do actually.
Okay, well, just taking it back to thinking about when you're in your when you're holding your dish position and having that pelvis under slightly, so almost like let me think of how to describe it. I almost imagine my tailbone is trying to come up towards my toes a little bit more. So instead of it sticking out, it's coming up towards my toes. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's how I like to think of it sometimes. Okay, good. Oh, Shalali, that's looking really nice, really good. Shalali, I'm going to suggest you actually go a little bit closer to the wall, maybe by about 10 centimeters, because at the moment you're quite far back. So to bring your feet further away is going to feel like quite demanding for you. Just have one more go with this style, and then I'm going to suggest one other little technique for us to try, or maybe two, depending on time. Yeah, that's looking good. Lovely. Good. Pelvis under, Shalali. Squeeze your butt cheeks together. Really nice. Look at that frame. Fantastic. That was really good. And when you're doing that, keep your legs super straight and get your toes to try and touch one another. So everything is perfectly straight like a pencil. But that was really nice. Lovely, Magdalena. Really good. Squeezing the thighs together, toes pointed together. Nice. Really good. Really nice. Okay, good. So the next one that I want us to do is a slightly different technique. So this technique is quite yoga style, where you start with your hands on the floor and then you kick up where your shoulders are already over your hands, and then you kick up from there. Whereas British Gymnastics Champions League, whatever they're called, British Gymnastics way of teaching it is from standing, because normally they would do it in a floor workspace, gymnasts would, and I find that's also really helpful. And to learn both techniques I found beneficial to help with my practice, so that I could try both and try and see which one worked best for me. So the British Gymnastics way of teaching it is you actually start standing up and you go through different phases. So I'm just going to move this slightly further back so you can see the whole movement. So we start standing up, and I bring my hands up above my head ready. So I start in my end position almost. My hands are up, pulling up next to my ears. Pelvis is tucking under, so squeezing my butt cheeks together. Then from here, I step my leg out, forward onto it, and then step it through, and I almost go through this T-shaped pose. So I step and then taking it forward. I try and do this slow motion. It's easier when you do it full, so do bear with me. So I've done, in fact, I'm just going to make my screen bigger as well. I realised that I might have just taken it off being the main video. Okay, cool. So I've gone up, I step it forward as far as I can, reaching it forward, and take my hands down to the floor, and then from there, I would then kick up. So if I'm doing this in normal flow, I reach up nice and high, step it forward, big step forward, reach through, step, and then up. Okay, and then from there, I might be able to balance. So I find that one's really nice when you've got loads of space. If you've got a big like park that you're in, or if you've got loads of space in your garden, then that's a really nice way to practice it when you haven't got a wall. But I want us to try it, even though we have got a wall, and just plant your hands near to the wall. So as you kick up, you might be able to hold it, but if you do go a little bit further over, you've got the wall there just for your support and for your comfort, and kind of for your own peace of mind. So I'll show you it one more time what I want us to do. About 1, 2 big steps away from the wall. Okay, that's where I want to start off. I'm reaching my hands up. Step forward with 1 big reach step, reach it up and hold and back through. Okay, so 1 more. Reaching it up, elbows under, tummy tucking it in, and big step through that leg, through the T shape and up. And again, I might catch the floor, the wall, or I might feel okay to balance here. Okay. So I want you to have a little practice of that to see if you prefer that way, just so that you can have a little play with both styles and both techniques to get into a handstand and see which one works best for you. If you don't have space to do the kind of this run into it almost, if you will, then feel free to just go back to the way where you've got your hands on the floor initially, and then you bring your foot up and then you pick up from there. If you don't have space, you can still do that way. Nice, good. Nice, good. Lovely, very powerful, Shalali. Step up through, nice, okay, good. Slightly bigger kick there, Magdalena, you're so close, you're so close. Nice, good. I can feel the frustration. I know, I've been there. Big step, lunge through, up, yes, excellent, really nice.
I think it's funny.
Say that again, sorry, Shalali.
Like with the other leg, I'm scared to jump.
Yeah, it feels a bit more like, ooh, there's more to do it, more fear involved, but you're looking great. Oh, Magdalena, you had that then, didn't you? You had that, and then it just wobbled out. So close. Really nice, Shalali, really good. I think you found your favourite method anyway. It's not this one. Yes! Lovely, Shalali, lovely, Magdalena. My yes was for you, Magdalena, because you went up. Whoop, whoop. Really, really nice. Excellent. So I want you to just have a think about which style you preferred and why. And this doesn't mean to say that you'll prefer this method for the rest of your handstand practice and training, but you might just prefer it right now, for this week, for this very moment. So it doesn't mean you're committed to it for the rest of your life. But which one did you kind of feel that you preferred getting into?
I think I kind of both, because the first one is a bit more challenging because you do it. I mean, here you have a bit more. You can have a bit of more power to actually hit the wall, if that makes sense.
Yes.
While when you are doing from the floor, it costs you a bit of more effort.
Yes, yeah, it's slower, more muscles involved to control you up. But then I guess the downside of using momentum is that can generate more fear, because you think, oh my God, I'm just gonna slam into the wall, or we tend to hold back a little bit then sometimes as well. How did you find it, Shalali? Which one was your preferred?
Same thing as Magdalena, but usually I jump into it. So when I sort of did my hands first and then, you know, went up, it's a bit more controlled. But like that way, it's easier for me to get closer to the wall with my hands. Because like with jumping, it's harder to estimate where I'm putting my hands. So when I do it the other way, I can like get closer. But,
yeah, completely get that. My loves, I can't believe this time's flown by. I actually wanted to do headstands as well, but I'm going to have to just pause that and just make this a whole handstand session. But feel free, because you're perfectly you're in your prime state where you've got warm shoulders, really warm tummy, where you've been warming up your tummy and tensing it quite a lot. So we tend to have our best headstands when we're in this state. So feel free to have a little practice afterwards before we say our goodbyes. I'm just going to do a little stretch on our tummy just to close the session. So let me just move the camera back so that you can see it nice and easily. Just take yourself down onto your tummy, rolling onto the floor, lying down. Lovely. And then from here, just taking your hands underneath your shoulders and gently lifting it up. From here, squeeze your shoulders back and down, looking up to the sky. And you should feel the stretch all down your tummy. You might want to take it even higher, depending on how flexible you are on your back and how much of a stretch you feel. I actually prefer it a little bit lower. I find I can get the stretch in my tummy better when I'm slightly lower. Lovely, good. Relax it down, bend the knees, taking yourself back up, and let's just do a little stretch in our shoulders as well. So we're going to take one arm over, pull the arm in. Doesn't matter if you're on the upper arm or lower arm, just avoid the joint so it's not too intense on that joint. Pulling your shoulder nice and down so you've got a nice long neck. Lovely, pulling it in. Lovely. Relax that off, turn your thumb down and then pull it round again. You might just feel like the stretch has come from the middle of your shoulder round down to the side, maybe feeling it down more in the arm. You might not as well, just depends which bit of the muscle feels tense. Really nice. Take that hand onto your shoulder and then just give it a little pull up. So we're in our tricep position, just stretching out the triceps. If you wish to pull that hand, take it deeper, you can take your hand over the top, pull that elbow back. Deeper still, take it behind your head, push your head back into it. Deeper still, take your hand behind you, and maybe give it a little pull from there. Very nice, good. And relax, switching over to the other side. Pulling the arm in, again, keeping it either lower arm or upper arm, just not on the elbow. Keeping that arm nice and straight, shoulder pulling down, nice long neck. Lovely. Easing it off, some faces down, give it another pull in. Good. This one feels really nice actually today. And then take your hand onto the shoulder and giving it a little pull up, stretching all the back of this arm. And then if you wish to, you can take that hand over the top of your head, give it a pull back for a deeper stretch, or take it behind your head for a deeper stretch still, pushing your head back into it. And then you've always got the option of with the other hand and integrating and binding there, just whichever feels like it's getting the most stretch for you in the right position. Lovely. And relax. Really good work, guys. Handstands are no easy thing, so I'm dead proud of you all. Really good, really good.
Thank you, Becky.
You're welcome. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy your tea if you haven't had it already.
Bye.
See you tomorrow, guys. Bye.